Hello guys, my name's Eli. Welcome back. Today we are going to review the Penn Phantom 40. Let's go ahead and check this out. It's pretty smooth. Let's listen to the clicker. It's pretty loud for a reel this size. Let's go ahead and check it in free spool. I've used the reel and I can tell you that this can cast a good distance with little effort. Now, let's go ahead and talk about its body. It's made out of aluminum. The whole thing is made out of aluminum. The side plates, the main body, made out of aluminum. It's got a nice handle, nice power knob. That's pretty good. When you're trying to crank the fish in, you obviously need a nice big handle. Let's go ahead and see the rod clamp. It's made out of graphite. That's standard, I would say. Gear ratio is 6.0 to 1, so that makes this a pretty fast reel. The pinion is made out of stainless steel. The main gear is made out of bronze. It's got a braking system on the left side where the clicker is located. It's got different magnets that you can pull out. They say it slows down the speed at what the spool travels in, and I've like I said, I've taken it and it does help a bit. However, I do feel that this spins a little faster than, let's say, a jig master. So if you're not comfortable with casting, practice before getting a reel like this, or you're gonna end up in bird's nest. I don't want to say I'm a professional fisherman, but I can tell you that I can cast this without a problem. So if you've been fishing for a while and if you've been casting with this, let's say a jig master, a Penn squid, or anything else, you should be okay with this. You'll just notice that it does take off a little faster. All you have to do is apply a little bit more thumb pressure and you'll be fine. Now let's go ahead and talk about the anti-reverse system, which is pretty neat. The older reels, as you guys may remember, had a little bit of play on the handle when you would try and come back with it. This does not have it. It's got the anti-reverse system, which is good. When you do tighten up the drag, there's a clicking noise, and that's cool. This is the knob that adjusts the tension on the spool. It stops it from shifting left and right. You should tighten it just a bit. You should be able to get just a little bit of play on it. There you go. And that should be fine. What else? Let's go ahead and talk about its weight. It's 18.70 ounces. So it's pretty light. You're not going to get tired with jigging all day long with it. However, I do wish it was a little heavier, maybe 3 ounces heavier. If it would have been maybe 3 ounces heavier, then I would have felt like the reel would have had a lot more aluminum to it, and I would have been happy with that. But this is fine. Max drag. It says that it gives out or puts out 25 pounds of drag with HT100 system. I have not needed the 25 pounds of drag on it, but as far as me tightening the drag, I can tell you one thing: it's pretty tight. So I imagine it gives you 25, let's say 20. So let's go ahead and open this up and see what this is all about. Let's go ahead and remove the screw here. Let's find out if this is a good reel that you may want, if you think it's worth the price. I will tell you that I found this Penn Phantom 40 on eBay for $150 new. They retail anywhere between $190 and $210 if you buy them at a store or whatnot. So eBay is definitely a good place to find these reels. I do want to let you know that I try and be as honest as I can with the reels. I do not work for Penn. So you'll notice me say sometimes good things about the reel and bad things about the reel. I'm just giving you my honest opinion. The power handle has 2 settings. So that means that you can either adjust the handle to come out a little further it'll give you more cranking power, or shorter, and that'll give you more speed when you're cranking. You can put it wherever you'd like. Now here we have 2 washers that I need to remove. There they go. Let's unscrew the star drag. Okay. Here's the little device that makes the clicking noise. And a washer. Always put things in order so that when you try and reassemble, you know where the things go, right? Okay. That should be fine. Let's go ahead and remove some screws here. It looks like I need to remove the tension knob. Okay. And it's got 3 flathead screws that I need to remove. That screwdriver is a little too big. I always have a rag handy. With the grease and all, you know, things start slipping on you, so. Let's see if I can get these screws out. There goes 1 screw. Now you might want to learn how to assemble and disassemble reels. It's good because you want to make sure you perform good maintenance on your reels. The good thing about these Penn reels is that when you feel like you want to upgrade or get a different reel, you can always sell these on eBay. You might not get your fool's money back, but definitely you're going to get 75 to 80% of what you paid for. So it's always a good investment to have these reels. So take care of them, because you never know when you're going to have to list them on eBay and sell them. So this is the 3rd screw I'm removing from the side plate where the gears are located. And this is the side plate. As you'll notice, it's got some good grease in it. The grease is like blue. It's got 2 springs there. Now let's get down to the real deal, which are the gears and the HT100 drags. This is a little sleeve. Remove that. A washer. This one's pretty thick. Let's remove that. Let's remove the main gear. Now, what do I think about this main gear? I feel like it's got some good size to it. Look at that. They drilled some holes on the gear to make the reel lighter. That's a good idea. I guess they were going for that lighter feel. 25 pounds of drag, they say. Let's go ahead and remove the HT100. As you can see, it's got cutouts. 1. Next is a washer. HT100. A washer. And a final HT100. Now, I have pretty big hands, so as you can see, this washer's got a good size to it, and that probably explains, you know, the good drag power. Here's the main gear, which is bronze, like I had mentioned. It's okay. It's not stainless steel, but it should be okay. What can I compare this to? I feel that this gear is a little bigger than the Penn 555 GS. I can tell you that much. So let's go ahead and put the HT100 drag back. The HT100 drags have been greased, it looks like, so just in case you ever replace them, grease them, because Penn does it. There goes the metal washer, another HT100, the metal washer, and the final HT100. So that's back the way it was. Let me clean my hands a little bit. And now for the pinion. Stainless steel pinion, look at that. It's decent. I don't want to say it's a great stainless steel pinion, but it looks decent, it looks okay. Let's go ahead and put that back. Now I do notice that the reel does have a ton of grease, or the parts do have a ton of grease, and I don't know that all that is necessary. So I'm just going to put the grease here for now. Put the pinion back. There you go. And it's got the double dog there. And now I see why it's got the anti-reverse. I don't know if you can see the two dogs that they've installed. They're okay. Let's go ahead and put the main gear back in. Sometimes it's a little tricky to put the things right back in, so just play with it. They should all fit right back in. Okay, main gear's back in. Let's put the big washer back. The other little washers. Okay, looks like these washers don't go here. I've already made a mistake. And it must be the sleeve that goes in. There's that. Okay. Let's go ahead and put the side cap back on. Let's put the tension knob back on. That's the one that creates the tension on the spool. These parts here, now I can't remember where they go. they seem to sit up here. That's as far as they go. They don't go past. So let's see, if I assemble this, I'll remember exactly where those two little washers went. Probably have to look at the video again myself and see where I pulled them out of. That's the good thing about recording yourself when you're dismantling something. I remember where they go now. Okay. This guy goes in here. This guy follows, which is another washer. Clicking mechanism goes in. Star goes in. Let's put the screws back in on the side plates. When you take your reels apart and you do the maintenance on them, you'll notice that it'll be easier for you to take them apart and put them back. This is actually the second time I've ever taken this apart, so that's why I had a bit of confusion about where those two little washers went, but now I remember where they go. So, you know, if you don't have a camera to record yourself as you're taking it apart, make some notes. Get some sort of a white piece of page, pencil or a pen, and just write down the order of what how you're taking the parts apart, and you should have no problem putting things back. You can always look at my video and it'll help you put it back. Okay, those are 3 flathead screws. Okay, that should be fine. Now, the 2 little washers that I had a problem with go on top of the star. That's exactly where they go. And of course the handle goes on top of that. And now for the nut or the bolt that holds the handle in place. Remember that there's a plastic washer underneath this nut. It helps, or it keeps from scratching the actual handle as you're tightening it. How tight do you want it? You want it snug. I wouldn't put it on too tight. That should be fine. Now the little screw that holds that nut from spinning on you. Okay. I need to put that screw in. And try not to force things in. They should screw right in. If it's being forced in, then it's probably going in crooked. So that's that side. Now for the easier side, in my opinion. Let's go ahead and do the clicker side. Three screws on the clicker side. I need to wipe my hands. I've got grease all over. Okay, there's screw number 1. It's out. Let's work on screw number 2. There's screw number 2. Screw number 3, which is the last screw. That's out. So out comes the side plate. Here's the side plate. Like I said before, it's aluminum. Out comes the spool. With the braking system that I had mentioned, the magnets. These magnets can be confusing, and I think it's worth talking about. I've gone online and seen where people don't know how to retract the magnets. It's actually not that hard, although when you're looking at it, you don't know exactly what you're looking at. So all you do, if you want to retract the magnets, is just push the magnet in with your nail. That's it. There, I've already pressed 3 of them. Press it with your nail, right where that little magnet's at. Now, how do you pop the magnet out? You'll notice that there's one washer, a plastic washer there, and there's a second plastic washer. With your nail, grab the second plastic washer, pull it out. There, the magnet is now back out. It's that simple. And Penn failed to explain to his customers how to do that in the paperwork. So here's the spool. Okay, let's go ahead and put that back. It's not that big of a deal. Now, I guess for the big... My camera guy here is telling me that it stopped recording, so let me check this out. And of course, it's still recording. He's young. He's 7 years old, and it's his first time. So he saw something blinking on the screen, and he figured, "Oh, I better tell my dad it stopped recording." But it's still recording, and we're just about done. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back. Now, if people, or if someone were to ask me, "Eli, what can you compare this reel to?" I would compare it to a beefed up Jigmaster. That's what I would compare this reel to. Just a beefed up Jigmaster. Do you guys remember back in the days when we used to get the Jigmasters and put AccuPlates on them and all these other things? That's what this reminds me of, a beefed up Jigmaster. Without the need to buy all those additional side parts and things to make it, you know, beefier. And I say beefed up because it's got the 25 pounds of drag. And the Jigmaster delivered probably 9. And if you bought the stainless steel sleeve, bridge, and gears, it'd probably give you 12. So this is definitely beefed up, and I would compare it to a beefed up Jigmaster. Better than a Jigmaster because of its drag power. As far as mono capacity, it's bigger than a Jigmaster. I'll give you the specs in just a few seconds. soon as I'm done putting this together. Now, the specs for mono: 30 pounds, 350 yards, 40 pounds, 300 yards, 50 pounds, 220 yards. Braid: 50 pounds, 725 yards, 65 pounds, 600 yards, 80 pounds, 525 pounds. This has been the Penn Fathom, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I was able to show you what was inside. I'll be taking pictures of it later on and making sure